Hi guys, I'm Shelley and welcome to wrap up and review number 6 of this year. I'm getting there, I'm catching up, jumping straight in. I have Remixed by Non Pratt. Well, I don't, because it's so fabulous I've had to lend it out to everybody I know. It's a YA novel about Ruby and Kaz, who are two teenage girls who have just finished their GCSEs and they're going to a music festival for the weekend to blow off some steam and have a laugh, and they've just broken up with their boyfriends at the same time, so they're going to just have a good friendship weekend and enjoy their favourite band, and it all goes a bit tits up. I've actually done a full review which I will link down below where I ramble on about it for quite a long time, but it's fabulous. It's a really good look at teenage friendship and how two girls react to each other. It's honest, it's witty, the language of these two teenage girls is extremely true. I find that when I'm reading about teenagers, they can tend to be a bit headier than teenagers I know. They can be a lot more eloquent, and these two girls speak how I speak, they text how I text, they're permanently texting each other. I love this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Well done, Non Pratt. I salute you. Next up, I read The Little Prince by Antoine de... oh boy. It's a French name, and I'm not going to try and murder it, but it is by a dude, and it's a very famous children's book. It is about a pilot who crashes in the desert and is trying to fix his plane, and while doing that he starts hearing voices, and it turns out the voice he hears is this little prince. He's a little alien dude, he's very tiny. And the little prince, to keep the pilot company, starts telling him stories of his adventures and where he's been, because he left his home planet and he went to visit all these different places to learn more about the world. I think what's mainly in this book is the fact that adults and children look at things completely different. Kids ask questions, adults don't. Kids are asking, why are you counting things? What is the point? Why are you the king? What makes you the king? Why do you own things? And I get that, I just don't get the book. I don't understand what I'm missing. I think there are a lot of questions and a lot of morals in this book that are kind of built in. There's a lot of beautiful stories, but it's just not quite connecting in my brain, and I don't know if that's just me and a phase I am in. Be something. There has to be a connection, and I didn't connect to this book. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Then I moved on to A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing by Amaya McBride. I read and listened to this on audiobook. This is the story of a young girl as she grows up and her relationship with her brother, who had a childhood brain tumour and so has learning difficulties and so on and so forth. I don't think we're told her name at any point, but she has traumatic things happen to her. She falls in love, she falls out of love, she has sexual experiences. She has this on-off relationship with her mum and an on-off relationship with her brother, and family drama. But the magic of this book, oh my god, the magic of this book is the fact that it is a half-formed thing. It is half-written. You know when you're thinking something and you don't think in sentences, you don't think in fully formed things, you think half-thoughts because you already know what your brain's thinking. This is how this is written, and it takes a while to get into, I must admit. First of all, I was reading it just going, what the heck is going on? And then I switched to audiobook and I was taken away somewhere completely new. I'm going to read you a little bit. 15, 16, eat coleslaw sandwiches with ham on top. She and me like to lurk here in the day, those gossips we have, the very best, and we read and read, quotes, quotes, back and forth. That's good for sharing books of this and that. Word perfect. We snack at each other, correct each other's grammar, chew gum and talk, think of sex. I do not say, but I hint a little. That's a powerful thing, I know. She's describing her, I guess, friendship with her best friend, and they're talking back and forth and in and out, and the words just flow, and oh my god, I fell in love with this book so hard that afterwards it stayed with me. For days on end I was hearing other people talk, and the TV talk, and the radio talk, like this. Even though everybody else was speaking in full sentences, I was only hearing that nit, 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 every other word. And I was thinking like that, and I was talking like that. My mum commented going, you're talking really weird. And I was like, oh, I just listened to this thing. And yeah, it takes some getting used to. It's a bit like reading Shakespeare. You just have to get over that blip, that first chapter. A bit like Jane Austen as well. You just get past the first chapter, just slide into the language, and then you're lost, and it all comes alive in your brain, and these colours, and I don't know how to describe it, but it came alive for me, and oh my god, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Next, as my first buddy read with Eleanor from Eleanor Reads Books, we read The Darkest Mind by Alexandra Bracken, which I borrowed from the library, so I don't have it anymore because I had to give it back. This is the story of Ruby, who is currently, as the book starts, living in a camp because she has powers. All teenagers have grown up, and as they've got older, they've got sick, they've got an illness, and some of them died from it, and some of them have got sick and just been left with powers. And if you are left with powers, your parents call the authorities, you're picked up, you're shipped off to a basically concentration camp. This is Ruby's story as she tries to escape this world and escape all the constrictions of her and find out what her powers are, if her parents are still alive, so on and so forth. I was really nervous. I was like reading the first chapter going, oh god, just yet another story about a teenage girl with powers. Shatter Me, X-Men, all these other ones. When are they going to write something new? But this is a really good story. It was fast-paced. It moved quickly. There is a little girl in there named Zoo who has this really nice relationship with Ruby. They kind of connect as sisters. Zoo doesn't talk, and she's had some really traumatic things happen to her, and she's kind of in a cage and she doesn't interact with anybody, and Ruby kind of brings her out of herself and makes her feel like a girl again. There's this lovely scene when they go clothes shopping in an abandoned Walmart, and she finds this little flowery dress and everything's cute, and oh, I love that. It's so beautiful, that scene. I was loving this book until chapter 25 when it all went downhill. Without giving spoilers, we have a scene of sexual assault. There is a guy pushing himself onto Ruby, and then we get nothing. A guy punches another guy in the face for it. That's it. It's not dealt with. It's just like she had a hiccup. Something big has happened to her. Sexual assault is horrifying, and yet it is just brushed under the carpet, and this has happened in a few books now, and it's really starting to irk me. And so because of that, I think I put it down to 2 out of 5 stars, because I've had enough of it. Please just stop it. If you're going to write about sexual assault in any way, write about the ramifications of it. Write about the fact that this is going to scar somebody, and this is going to have to be dealt with. You can't just go and wash your face of it, have a wash, and just go, okay, no, it didn't happen, everything's fine. That's not how life goes. And oh yeah, I'm irked. Sorry, I am irked, and so it became a 2 out of 5 book for me. The phone's ringing. That's helpful. And after that rather downer of a review, I'm going to bring you something light and fluffy and neon green, which is A Visual's Journey by Ed Sheeran and Philip Boutar. This is a sort of autobiography of Ed Sheeran through visuals and through pictures. He's on stage with Passenger there. It's beautiful, it's insightful, and it's happy, and it doesn't really go into his personal life that much because it links through music more than it links through relationships or anything like that. He tells you how he fell in love with this band, and so that took him to that, and it made him write songs like that and experiment that way. It's very, very sweet. It's like you're just talking to Ed. He's not telling you stuff, he's chatting with you, or like he's having a really, really good interview and you're reading about him in a magazine. Wish this book came with a soundtrack, because the bands he's talking about and the music he's talking about is great. In fact, he's talking about a band called Liz Loppy a lot, and if you are from the UK, you may know Liz Loppy for having a Christmas #1 once called the JCB song. They are one of my most favourite bands in the world, and so I had this kind of, I felt a kinship with Ed, just a little one. Physically, it's a bit difficult to hold. In fact, I'm going to have to put it down now, and for some reason it smells of petrol. I'm not really sure why. But even if you're just a slight Ed Sheeran fan, I'd say flick through this purely for the pictures of this beautiful boy and his writing style. And that is my wrap up and review number 6. I'd love to know what you think of any of these books, so come talk to me in the comments. I hope you guys are good, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.